GABA English Class 7. There's a leopard. About, they told me you should carry a gun. I don't have one, I said. There were fewer birds to be seen, and even the langurs had moved on. I thought no more of the men. They were unpredictable and to be avoided if possible. One day after crossing the stream, I climbed Pari Tiba, a bleak scrub covered hill where no one lived. This was a stiff undertaking because there was no path to the top and I had to scramble up with the help of rocks and roots. At the top was a plateau with a few pine trees, their upper branches catching the wind and humming softly. There I found the ruins of what must have been the first settlers, just a few piles of rubble now overgrown with weeds, sorrel, dandelion, and nettles. As I walked through the roofless ruins, I was struck by silence that surrounded me. The silence was so absolute that it seemed to be shouting in my ears, but there was something else of which I was becoming increasingly aware, the strong odor of one of the cat family. I paused and looked about. I was alone. There was no movement of dry leaf or loose stone. The ruins were, for the most part, open to the sky. Their rafters had collapsed and joined together to form a low passage like the entrance to a mine. This dark cavern seemed to lead down. The smell was stronger when I approached this spot. I stopped again and waited there, wondering if I had discovered the lair of the leopard. I wondered if the animal was now at rest after a night's hunt. Perhaps it was crouched there in the dark, watching me and recognizing me as a man who walked alone in the forest without a weapon. I liked to think that he was there and that he knew me and that he acknowledged my visit in the friendliest way by ignoring me altogether. I did not venture any further. I did not seek physical contact or even another glimpse of that beautiful creature springing from rock to rock. It was his trust I wanted, and I think he gave it to me. But did the leopard, trusting one man, make the mistake of trusting others? Because next day, coming from the path of the stream, shouting and beating their drums were the hunters. They had a long bamboo pole across their shoulders, and slung from the pole, feet up, head down, was the lifeless body of the leopard. It had been shot in the neck and in the head. We told you there was a leopard, they shouted in great good humor. Isn't he a fine specimen? Yes, I said. He was a beautiful leopard. I walked home through the silent forest. It was very silent, almost as though the birds and animals knew their trust had been violated. I remembered the lines of a poem by D.H. Lawrence, and as I climbed the steep and lonely path to my home, these words echoed in my mind. There was room in the world for a mountain lion and me.